welcome back to another Vlogmas video. Today will be our final origami video, and I'm actually going to point the camera directly at my hands because we will be making an angel. But yes, we'll be making angels this time round, and they're actually a little bit complicated. It's got 28 steps, but I think we've done enough origami now that we can do it. But Sam and I have sat together and worked through the directions for it because there were a couple of bits that were confusing, so I'm going to talk you guys through it and hopefully I haven't forgotten anything, but I will be pointing the camera directly at my hands just so you can clearly see what exactly I'm doing. So let's get started. Now you may be confused as to why I'm using a blue piece of paper. It's because the other side is white. I'm going to make my angel white. We already have a green angel and a yellow angel up on the tree, so I thought let's have a white angel as they're traditionally dressed in white. If I could do their face a different colour, I would, but this one will just have to have a blue face. So to start with, you start with the coloured side down, so I'll be starting with the white side down this time because that's the colour I want. And then you fold it horizontally and unfold. And then you fold it vertically and unfold. And now you take both sides and you fold them into the middle. Like so, and then you take the bottom and fold it up to the middle, and the top and fold that to the middle as well. Now you should have a shape that looks like this. Now you need to take on your top half, you need to take your flaps and you're going to fold them up like this on both sides, like so. And then you're going to lift this center point here, hold on to the bottom bit, and you're going to lift that out, and you're going to fold it all down like this. So now you should have a shape that looks like this. And now we're going to take the bottom flaps and do exactly the same thing, just fold them down. And then we're going to take this top part and we're going to push the back bit down so it ends up on the back, and the bottom now becomes the top, just like so. And now this bit gets a little bit fiddly, but what we need to do is we need to push this in. So it currently looks like this. We need to lift the flap up and push this whole bit in so that this bit comes down like this to a point, and do the same thing on the other side. So you're lifting the whole thing up, you're pushing this bit here in and laying the whole thing down flat. So now your piece should look like this. And now we need to fold these pieces up. So you already have a crease underneath, so you're basically just opening up your flap like that, and the same on the other side. So now you should have a piece that kind of looks a little bit like a boat, and then you're going to take this top line here and you're going to fold it down and line it up with this crease just here, and do the same on the other side. So you should have a piece that looks like this. Just be careful about any rips and tears. Mine's just started to tear there, so you may want to be a little bit more gentle than I was. Now you unfold both of these flaps and you fold them in at this crease that you already have here. Fold it in and fold it in, and you just want to define those creases a little bit more, and then you unfold them. Now this bit's a little bit awkward, but what you want to do is, hang on, let me just remember. So I'll show you with the other side. So what you need to do is you need to fold this bit, this top bit needs to be folded in half as best as you can, because it kind of gets to like tiny little points, and then everything should just sit down like that, and you should have two triangles that stand up. So I'll show you again. You're wanting to make a crease in here, and then where your crease is here, you want that to fold down. And because you've now put a crease here, that bit should follow and it should stand like that. I hope that makes sense. And you want to do that on both sides so you get something that looks like this. And then you want to fold both of these flaps down And then this is where things are going to get a bit fiddly because things are getting narrower. You want to take this piece and fold it in half as best as you can, like that, and then do the same on the other side. Ease it over into a fine point as best as you can. So what we've done is we've taken these two pieces and folded them over, and now we want to turn the whole thing over, so it should look like this. Now this bit gets a little bit fiddly again, but what you want to do is you want to fold this bit in half, and then in half again, but the other way round, so like that. And then you want to open the whole thing up and just readjust it slightly. So you want to rebend some of these into a different way. So you want that one to go back, that one to go in, and that one to go back, just like that. And do the same thing on the other side. So fold it in half, and then in fact you don't even need to turn it around, just fold it in half again, and then just readjust. So you want one bit going back, the next bit going front ways, and then going back, just like that. Then the next step I've decided is optional. You can then try and put tiny little pleats in here to try and make it a little bit more wing-like. Sam just left his like this. I tried doing mine a little bit more wing-like, but it does just get a little bit crumply. So it's up to you whether you want to try or not. Maybe if you're using a bigger piece of paper, you might be able to try the pleat bit, but if you're working a small piece of paper like me, it might just be easier to leave it as it is. So moving on to the next step is we want to fold two lines here backwards. So best way to do it is fold it in half along the bottom, and then fold it one way and give a crease, and then fold it the other way and give a crease, and then you know that at least they're both folded backwards, so it will look a little bit like that with these two backwards pleats. If you manage to do it without refolding this middle pleat, that's even better. Okay, moving on to step 18, we want to take this piece and we're going to do two folds and then unfold them. So we're going to do one fold going this way and then unfold it, and then doing the same thing but in the opposite direction and unfold it. Now this bit does get a little bit fiddly, but open up the flap as best you can and press it down like so, and then you also need to do it on the other side, which is why it gets a little bit fiddly. So open up the flap as best you can and then push down. Told you it gets fiddly. Come on, wings, stay down. There we go. So you should end up with it being flat and a little triangle here. So you're basically folding it back, these two creases rather, and ending with a triangle. It takes a little bit of practice, but you'll get there. You then fold down like so on both sides. So you still have a triangle, but it's just a slightly smaller triangle. So take both flaps and fold them over so that the wrong colour or the wrong side wraps around the right side, if that makes sense. This will now be your head, so push it slightly to the side. Then take this whole centre line and you're moving the whole centre line up to meet the bottom of the wings, and you want to crease that, firm crease, like so. And again with this bit, just like that. So now your shape should look like this. Now we're going to take each of these corners, starting with the right side, and you're folding it down to meet this imaginary line right here. So the line that goes from this point to this point here. That's where you want this top line to match. There we go, and do the same on the other side. There we go. Now you lift this bit up and you lift the flap that the head's on and put that on top. And now what you want to do is you want to take, starting with this side, fold this whole bit back, like so, so that it lines up with the crease here. And then this crease here, you want to fold back on itself, like so. So your right side should now look like this. So I'll show you again on this side. So you take this whole back bit and you crease it right here. Don't worry, your head will do silly things for a second and then it'll be right back to normal. And then the line here, where the wings, bottom of the wings hit, that folds up. And there we have the wings. That was step 24. We're getting there. We're almost finished. Now we have to swing the legs in. So at this point, the pleats that you made to go backwards, they now need to go forwards. I know there's a lot of like folding one way and then you fold them the other way, and it's like, why don't we just fold it all the right way to begin with? I don't know. So should look something like that. And then we need to do the head. And now this bit is a little tricky. So you need to stick your finger in the top, and the aim, I'd recommend kind of holding the bottom where all the pieces come together. Stick your finger in the top and try and make a little hole. And the aim is to lie the whole thing flat. So it should look like that. So there we have our head and our hair. And now the last thing to do is the hands. And the easiest way to do this is take the tips and fold them backwards and then fold it back again, just like that. So you're folding the first tip backwards, and then where the tip meets, you're just folding it at that point back on itself. So you should have like a little hand. So on this side, you fold the tip down, and then where the tip is here, you fold it back at that point, or roughly. It is a bit fiddly. And there you go. There is an angel. So I hope that those instructions made sense. I tried to explain it and show it in the best way I knew how to do them. I will say that with this one in particular, practice makes perfect. They are definitely not as easy as the stars or the Santas, and as I said, it has 28 steps to this angel, and yeah, practice makes perfect. My first attempt, I got stuck with the initial steps for the head. So don't worry if you mess it up the first time or the second time, you will get it eventually if you keep practicing. But I hope that you enjoyed all of these origami videos. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like me to do more origami videos in the future, if I ever see any more origami kits, because actually it has been fun, even though at times it's been frustrating. And I will see you tomorrow for another Vlogmas video.